Welcome to Flip This Town Tour podcast. This is Jason Lassiter, your host, and I have the amazing Susan Smallwood here. I'm interviewing her here on the show. Welcome, Susan.
Candace, thanks, and happy holidays, everyone, and to you, Jason, and your team for interviewing me today.
Thank you so much, and it's so great to have you. And here in Kansas City, Missouri, we're getting 2 inches of snow today, and I hear you're in Florida, and you went to the beach today.
Oh, la la, yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I've been really inspired about your story, Susan, and I know you went through so many different obstacles, and you're a great entrepreneur. Can you get more into that, how you overcame some of those obstacles, and what made you start your company, what inspired you, and how did you get to where you are today?
So, 2.5 months ago, my company, Grandiosity Events, we celebrated history with all Black polo players at our 8th annual Celebrity Charity Polo Jazz in the Washington, D.C. area, a benefit for Black Mental Health Alliance. 2.5 years ago, I launched my own caviar brand, Le Grande Caviar.
Awesome.
At the Baltimore Inner Harbor Marina. And I launched that because I wanted to normalize luxury, elevate grand experiences, redefine rules, and change the complexion by bringing culture to the culture, because most of the Black and brown cultures have not been exposed to the world of caviar. So I'm grandly grateful for that opportunity.
Awesome.
Prior to that, I'm going backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason I'm going backwards. And prior to that, I've had TV personality Judge Mathis as my celebrity host last year. We endured a tropical storm warning. I did not quit. I did not shut down the event. The show must go on. And we converted a whole 180-foot horse barn with manure and hay in 24 hours and still executed the event with 700 guests that showed up from around the United States.
Wow.
The year before, in 2022, actress Lisa Ray was my celebrity hostess. Beautiful turnout, beautiful, funny Saturday or Sunday, whatever day that was. She was celebrating her birthday, if you know who Lisa Ray is.
Oh, yeah, I know Lisa Ray, yeah. I never met her before, but obviously I heard of her, yeah.
Yeah, she rocked the stage for our audience. Prior to that, I had Carson Kressley. I had Real Housewives of Potomac, Karen Huger, and some local TV and radio personalities when I first started. So as you can see, it has evolved with big names, nationally recognized names. And guess who my celebrity hostess will be next year?
Who is that?
The legendary Keon T-Boz Watkins from the all-girl group TLC.
Oh, wow.
And waterfalls.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know many of you have heard of her.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So she's my celebrity hostess for Sunday, May 25th, our spring edition. What I'm doing now is I'm going straight gangsta. Instead of doing one polo event a year, I'm going to do 4 events next year.
Nice.
So I'm bracing myself, me and my team, and preserving our energy and preparing for grand magical energy to produce 4 events next year.
That's awesome. Yeah, wow.
Thank you. So 9 years ago, I produced my first event inside a private jet hangar.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Signature Flight Support private jet hangar. The October of 2016, I believe it was.
And how was that?
I think it was. I might have the year wrong, but whatever was 9 years ago.
That
was beautiful with a fashion show. 7 months later, I produced a second. They were so impressed at the private jet hangar, they allowed me to come back in and produce another charity gala. Thank you. And we had guests arriving in grand style via helicopter.
Oh, that's amazing.
Beautiful. Yes. So prior to that the first two events, hi, y'all. Prior to those first two events at the Signature Flight Support 9 years ago, 10 years ago, I was released from federal prison.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go backwards because I didn't want to start with that. I wanted to go back and
Sure.
show the progress that has been made from the time that I was released to what I've accomplished to where I am now to about to do 4 polo events next year. So you asked the question, what inspired me? While I was in prison, they called me grandiose and haughty. If y'all know what that means, haughty means someone that's stuck up or sedity,
Mm-hmm.
and grandiose means someone that's bigger than whatever.
Yes.
First of all, I didn't even know what the words meant, but while I was in, I said, I'm going to name my business Grandiosity when I came home.
I like the
And look
name.
at
It
me
stuck
now.
out. I
Yes.
like it. Yeah.
And look at us now next year will be 10 years.
Wow.
So what I did was transmute the negative to the positive. So
Mhm.
anyone that's listening to this journey, never allow a naysayer or a hater to tell you who you are or who you are not. You are who you say you're going to become. You create your destiny. Cheers to
Absolutely.
the grand life. You don't mind if
Yes.
I
Yes.
sip
Go
on
ahead.
champagne?
Absolutely. It's such an inspiring story. And when you overcame those obstacles, when you got out of prison, did you kind of sit around for a while or were you already motivated to get going?
No, actually, I wasn't motivated. I was, but I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
That trepidation because I knew I had a record.
Mm-hmm.
People were whispering. People did not want to hire me.
Mm-hmm.
So my self-esteem was not there. My confidence wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I knew in my heart of hearts, in the mind of my mind, that I wanted to execute the first event coming home. I had to do it in grand style or I wasn't going to do it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I went grand, a private jet hangar.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's you know, if they call you grand, that means you got to become grand.
Yes. Did you have like a mentor or were you just self-inspired as far as like getting everything going?
No, I did not have a mentor, and I did self-inspire. I don't watch TV or news. I'm not influenced. I'm not programmed by the external world. I am influenced and programmed by God, the universe, my angels and ancestors, and my spirit guides who lead me every day to flow with the universe, and they give me messages on what to do and what not to do.
Sure.
So that's how I flow, and that's how I'm inspired.
That's great. So you didn't allow all these distractions with the news and all the media, you know, because sometimes we get all wrapped up in that and we get kind of influence on what's going on in the world. So you didn't allow that to impact you on your journey to moving forward as an entrepreneur, which is great.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what keeps you motivated right now?
What keeps me motivated is that I have so many more grand ideas.
Mm-hmm.
My grand vision. And as a result of again, making history with All Black Polo Player 2.5 months ago, I have now partners that have hooked onto my brand to help me execute and to a grander level.
Mm-hmm.
So it all started literally. I lost my house, number one, in 2017. Owned a 7,800 square foot home, beautiful on 3.02 acres of land with marble lions and bronze water fountain. And pretty much everything I owned, I sold all to keep my brand alive, keep me and my son going.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to stop. And I know the ROI has come back in so many ways. There's a docu-series, Sizzle, that has been filmed. There is a book interview, a book deal coming through, or my story coming out in the book. And just me sharing on podcasts like yourself, Jason.
That's great. When is your book coming out?
We don't know that yet. It's in development behind the scenes. So
Okay.
just like the Sizzle that has been filmed, we don't have a date yet. but audience is staying tuned. They are watching. I had 7 million views 3 months ago
That's amazing.
on my
Wow.
page. Yes, on my IG page. So just like today, I announced that I was going to do a live podcast, and someone asked me, "Where can you watch it?" And then you told me it's pre-recorded.
Hmm.
So the audience is going to want to hear this interview as well.
Absolutely. As soon as it's finalized, I'll send you a copy so you can upload it to your Instagram page and your social media. So,
Yay!
yeah, absolutely. So, when is your first event with the polo? And how could
When was
somebody
it?
is it open to the public? How can somebody be invited to it?
It's a public event. We always
Hmm.
put out a ticket link. It's all over social media. This event next month, we don't have the ticket link ready yet, but I
Okay.
can tell you the date is Sunday, May 25th.
Okay.
Um, so T-Balls is available that date. If you go on our IG page, you'll see Grandiosity Events, Polo and Jazz. T-Balls is on a lot of flyers already and on Facebook. The ticket link will be ready sooner than later. Just stay tuned, audience. Stay
Mhm.
tuned. There's a method to my madness, okay?
Okay. Now you also sell a product, right, called caviar, right? Is it caviar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about how does that taste? I never had it before. What does it taste like? What is it?
Well, everyone has a different palate. So the caviar that I mainly introduce to the audiences, either with a tasting and etiquette or for VIP receptions to elevate grand experiences or normalizing luxury, it's called Royal Osetra.
Mm,
Royal Osetra comes from the Osetra sturgeon, which is farm raised in Asia. And the egg size of the Osetra sturgeon is 2.9 millimeters compared to that of beluga or beluga hybrid, which is 3.2 millimeters to 3.3 millimeters. And I share that so the audience can know there's levels to this. The larger the eggs, the lighter the eggs, the less saltier the eggs.
hmm.
The smaller the eggs, the darker the eggs, the more saltier. So Royal Osetra is a high quality, affordable price point caviar that if you want to save hundreds of thousands of dollars, I recommend Royal Osetra compared to Beluga or Beluga Hybrid. Now, there's nothing wrong with that unless you have it like that. It's not tricking if you got it, right?
Hmm.
Then go ahead. But if you want a quality product for a reasonable price point, Royal Osetra is what I introduce to the audiences and on my platform primarily.
Okay. And how would somebody purchase that from you? Where would they go?
That is online. We have an online we ship overnight online, legrandecaviar.com.
Okay.
We also have a cloud kitchen in Fort Lauderdale. You can order via Uber Eats on all the delivery platforms, or you can walk up to the kiosk and order at the kiosk at 1115 9th Street Northeast in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Or
Awesome.
you can contract us for specialized custom themed caviar bars for any occasion and or tasting and etiquette to get a vibe of what the world of caviar is about.
Awesome. I'm sure that some of the listeners would love to go to your site and purchase that. It sounds
Thank
like it would be a
you.
good product for sure.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So, can you tell us a little bit about your daily schedule for people that want to know, like they're trying to, become an entrepreneur and they're trying to avoid just like you said, naysayers that sometime would just make their spirit down. They just get really uncomfortable with the negativity. And what is some things that you recommend that can help them out?
Well, every day upon awakening, I first say my affirmations and journal, even though some days I do forget to journal. But journaling is a contract, pen to paper that you write to yourself.
Hmm.
Remember, words are powerful. So the words that you write, the words that you speak, the words that you think, the universe is listening.
Hmm.
Our cells are listening. So you want to tell yourself, hold on, please. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Oops. Uh-oh.
I can hear you.
Is this the interview?
Uh-oh. We lost it. Just trying to come back. Okay, I see you now.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm glad it's being edited. I'm glad it's pre-recorded.
Yes.
So, so anyway, yeah. So, affirmations, journaling. I listen to binaural beats, 528 hertz. There's different type of frequencies that you listen to. Remember, the higher that you are vibrating on a frequency, that's when you attract the people, places, and things that are vibrating on that frequency. So when they say, grand vibes or vibrations, there are different levels of vibrations. I use the word grand because grand vibrations. I only want to mesh with people on this level, that's vibrating on that frequency. There are a lot of low vibing people. Those are the negative naysayers and haters. So all vibes are not the same. There's levels to this.
So
you got to.
So when let's say somebody is going through a foreclosure like you went through, what would you tell that person that's going through an experience like that? How would you, what is something that could help them, when they're going through that experience?
Well, I did try to save my house, and I didn't explain the whole story. I was in an abusive relationship, and I couldn't think mentally. Mentally, I was very off. And I didn't have the energy to keep fighting in the domestic violence, abusive relationship in the house while trying to save my damn house. It was too much for me mentally. I let it go. I had peace of mind, especially when I let the abusive relationship go. That's when I soared. For ladies and gents, because it's not ladies that are just being abused, for the men too, that are in an abusive relationship, your life will soar once you remove yourself from that toxic relationship, from that toxic person. My whole, everything, my being, it took a couple of months to recover, but it's because I wanted to recover. I wanted to heal. I wanted to show the world the grandest version of myself. They have to remember, I'm just coming home from prison. Then I lose my house while building my brand. I'm going through the people whispering in the streets, talking shit about me. I had a lot to deal with, but I never let it stop my flow. Every day I got upset. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to execute. And so that's where the respect comes in. You may not like me or whomever, but you're going to respect them for their hustle.
Absolutely.
10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
And do you think that obviously, because we all go through experience, I know when I go through certain experiences, it makes me stronger as well, So I'm sure when you went through that experience, that helps you become stronger mentally and maybe becoming more focused as well. And you probably started to discover who your true friends are.
Oh yeah, yes, and that was the most important. Very much, you see who's really ride or die, who really wants to rock out with you, who's there for you, and you know what? Again, peace of mind. Peace of mind that you're not going to use me no more. I was a people pleaser. I'm not going to jump through hoops, proving myself because I'm at the point where I don't give an F what anyone thinks. I've been through too much hell, and when you get to the point like David Goggins says, F everybody. You know who David Goggins is.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, he's a tough motherfucker. And so I'm that female version of him. Like you can't give an F.
Right.
You got to keep going.
Yeah, you got to move on. I mean, you just have to, because otherwise you'll just get, it'll drain you mentally and physically. You won't want to get up in the morning, but you have to keep on moving forward. And you have to have positive people in your life to help you do that. So that's a great thing that you've been able to keep moving on and keep progressing, Susan,
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Can you tell me a little bit about the polo events? Like, I never been to one, so I'm curious. I would love to go to one day, but I'm curious how they are, the polo events.
Yeah, so Jason, let me tell you, guests travel from all around the United States and even out the country to come to my polo and jazz events. It is a high touch event, but it's not snooty.
Hmm.
You will meet so many wonderful people, learn and just like I said, from all over the United States. And um, the experience alone is a grand experience of watching polo, especially the fact that 2.5 months ago it was all Black polo players.
Hmm.
Our culture is not accustomed to the world of polo, especially watching Black polo players play.
Sure, sure.
So you're in for a treat. Make sure, like I said, you got to attend the next one. It's going to blow your mind. You're going to have the grandest time of your life there.
Okay.
I guarantee that. I'm so confident about that.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I would love to go to the next one you have, Susan, for sure. So just let me know when that next event is. And I just want to
Yes.
thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. And is there any book you recommend that people would read? Is there any quote that helps sustain you in certain times of stress? Maybe you could just share that with some of the listeners.
Yes, there's a book by Deepak Chopra, I think the 7 Spiritual Laws of Business.
Hmm.
I forgot the title exactly, but there's another one that I read. I take to the beach with me. It's called The 7 Books on Prosperity, Success, and Achievement by Orison Swett Marden, which is a prosperity classic.
Hmm.
The other one is called The Game of Life and How to Play It by Helen Scoville Shim, which is
Oh,
also
yeah. And she's great, by the way. I read a
yes,
lot of her
which
books.
is
She's great. Yeah.
yes, yes, and even you can download the audio. It's a prosperity classic too, and it talks about what my life is. What you speak, right thing, you bring to you, and that's how you create your future. You create your destiny with our words, with our quality of thought.
Hmm. Awesome, awesome. Well, it was such great to have you on the show. And is there anything else you would like your listeners to know?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm sorry there's some background noise in the ear or so, but I'm glad this was a beautiful interview. Thank you, Jason Lassiter. Wishing much success on the journey with your podcast interviews.
Thank you so much, Susan, and enjoy the beautiful weather out in Florida.
Thank you. Have a grand day, everyone. Ooh la la. Live life grand every day.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye.